Hi, welcome to Happier Ladies. We're sisters who discuss all things related to work, family, and personal growth.
I'm Azizi Williams. I live and work in the LA area. I'm a mom of 2 adult children, and I'm an education professional in the independent school world. I'm here with my sister, Malika Amandi.
That's me. I'm a SoCal native living in Western Massachusetts, a mom of 2 littles, and I work in higher ed.
In this episode, we get into the weeds about the TV show Nobody Wants This.
Yay!
Finally, it's here.
But first, Azizi, I was featured in our local newspaper.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yes, last week, which I didn't know that. I knew that I might be in the paper because somebody had interviewed me, but I didn't know when and wasn't contacted. But we dropped off Kermit at his doggy daycare, and the owner told Norm, like, hey, I saw your wife in the paper.
Oh my,
And then,
you're famous.
and then my boss texted me a few days later, like, oh my gosh, you're in the paper. And then we had another neighbor who, when Norm was walking the dog, ran out to give him a copy of. So
this is so small town, Malika. This is so small town. Everyone is reading the same small town newspaper and saw you and knew who you were and then wanted to tell you about it. That's really sweet.
it was on the front page.
Wow, that's so cool. Did you send me a picture? I don't think you did.
No, I haven't yet. I'll take a picture and we
put it in the family chat. What are you waiting for? Let's let it blow up, you know?
Life moves so fast, you know?
This is an exciting once-in-a-lifetime maybe thing.
I don't know.
It reminds me of when Daphne was in the paper.
Oh, yeah, and Frasier.
Do you remember?
Yes.
It was like unsavory or unflattering, but she was excited and sending it to her mom. So you gotta, let us see it.
Saying around. It's about garbage. Like, it's about the garbage service or not having a garbage service in our town. And it's like Malika Amandi moved from LA and was shocked that there was no garbage. I don't know if they quoted me properly, but anyway.
Doesn't matter. Your name is in print. You were in the paper. And now you can join me, Malika. Now we have both been in the newspaper.
Yes. The media loves us.
The media loves us. Of course they do. Whether it's garbage or admissions, it's all fantastic. All right. Well, send me a picture. And we're back with the Festival of, where we go into great detail about a particular subject. And today that subject is
Nobody Wants This, the Netflix series. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm like grinning from ear to ear. Azizi, I've been wanting to do this for so long. And
I know.
We kind of put it off because not everybody loves this show. And I don't know, other things became more pressing, I guess. But then it got nominated for an Emmy. So
a couple of them, I think.
I feel like it's relevant again, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't pass up the opportunity for us to talk about it. We've been like building this episode for months.
I'm excited for you, Malika. And I do love the show. It's not like I don't. I'm excited about it too, but I just wasn't sure if anybody wants this, you know?
Maybe nobody wants this.
Maybe nobody wants this.
It's possible.
Oh, well, we're going to do it.
So if you haven't seen the Netflix series, it's 1 season. The second season comes out, I think, pretty soon after this episode airs. So
I think it was October 23rd that I saw. Don't quote me.
Late October.
Late October.
There are going to be a lot of spoilers in this conversation. So if you would like to see the show and then listen, press pause now.
I guess you have to skip this episode.
Yeah. You know what? It's not that many episodes. You could totally watch it in one day.
Go watch them all.
Maybe I know that from experience. I don't know. But
you definitely
1 or 2 days you can watch it. So I'm just going to share the little blurb that's on Rotten Tomatoes, which it has a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, the
Pretty good.
film and TV critic website. An agnostic, sex positive podcaster and a newly single rabbi fall in love, discovering if their relationship can survive their wildly different lives and meddling families. Azizi, what drew you into this show?
Well, you actually,
That's true.
you drew me into the show, but when I finally watched it, I was so delighted. It's about sisters who podcast. And I was like,
Yes.
are they watching us? There can't possibly be any other sisters who podcast in LA. I mean, that was exciting. The sister podcast of it all was fun to watch.
Yes, it's just fun. They're like podcast that's rising. They're kind of negotiating a deal with Spotify and about to kind of really up level, but at the heart of their podcast is their like sisterly banter. And I mean, that drew me in as well because,
Yeah, and their family's involved, which
yeah,
is really sweet. It's kind of podcast fantasy, like
yes.
multi-million
Oh,
dollar deal for
totally.
Spotify.
Also, it's like, do they have other jobs? It doesn't seem like they do,
Unclear.
but
It doesn't they get sponsors
somehow,
somehow.
and they live in like these very chic apartments in LA.
What about you? What drew you in?
I love the music and the
Mm,
soundtrack. Like, I think the music editing was so good in this show, which usually, I don't know, you don't always notice, and that's fine. But I just felt there were so many times where I was like, oh, this is just, it's working. The
mhm.
choices that they're making are really heightening the drama, and it's also just fun. Like, some of the bands that they feature, I realize, like, I've seen live.
Mhm.
Haim
All
is
right.
featured, I think, in several episodes, but definitely the first one. And I've seen them in concert. They're from LA. It's a band of sisters. One of them was at my arts high school,
That's cool.
and we saw them at FYF.
I remember that was an epic day
It's a
of concerts, whole day music festival. I remember that. That was fun.
yes, and Blood Orange was also there, and I've seen them
Yep.
another time. They're featured in the soundtrack. It's
Mm,
very much like bright indie pop
mhm.
music, and it's fun.
The tracks go with the moment and just, like, contribute to the overall feeling of the show.
Yeah. What else for you is easy?
The cast is amazing. So, Adam Brody, who is just so cute and adorable and believable as the aspiring rabbi. He was in the Gilmore Girls, I guess. You told me that, Malika. I did not watch the
Yes.
Gilmore Girls,
Taking
but
it
you
back.
remember
Gilmore
that.
Girls. He was Lane's boyfriend, and
Okay.
he was like pretending to be Christian Seventh-day Adventist to, appease her mother and going through all these hoops to date her. It's kind of like a little shadow storyline of nobody wants this. Not
Oh.
exactly, but that's just funny. He's a type. That's what we'll say. He's a type.
He is definitely a type because I saw him in New Girl. Where we rewatching New Girl and he was a guest star and he played like this very sweet like dad who's into Jess and very romantic, you know. So it was fun to see him pop up there also.
Yeah. And we should say his character name is Noah.
Right. His character name on Nobody Wants This is Noah. And then Kristen Bell plays Joanne, and she's just everywhere. She's all over the place. But I loved watching her in Parks and Recs. Parks and
Parks and
Rec.
Recs?
I always say Parks and Recs. Even when I see it in writing, it is still Parks and Recs. This
Okay.
unnerves Malika to no end. Okay. So I've seen her on Parks and Rec. It just feels so weird. But she had a whole arc where she played like a politician from Eagleton, which is the rival to Pawnee, where Leslie Knope lives. And eventually she becomes in charge of Eagleton. But she's very fancy on that show. And it's such a good foil to Leslie Knope. So that's a fun place to watch her. And of course, she was in what's the other show where she was with Ted Danson?
Oh, The Good Place.
The Good Place, right. That was a huge series for her.
Yeah. And she's also a type. Like this character, Joanne, it's in her wheelhouse, but I think she's a little bit more relatable than some of the
Yeah.
other characters.
Right. It's not so extreme
Yeah.
as the other characters that she often plays. What else, Malika?
So another aspect was just the locations. And I mentioned this in previous episodes when I've talked about
Hmm.
the show. Like it's set in LA, it's set in East LA, like Silver Lake, Echo Park. There are some parts
Hmm.
in the valley, Los Feliz. It's like the area that I lived in and frequented. So there's a lot that's if you don't live there, you might not find it particularly scenic or beautiful. But their establishing shots were like, "Oh my gosh, that's my corner where I used to do
Yeah.
this or that." So, it's very nostalgic for me in that way.
It's pretty typical for LA to be the base for shows and movies.
Yeah.
That's not unique, but the way they featured this particular neighborhood and these, neighborhoods aren't often shown. So I thought that was
Yes, it's
beautiful.
very
Yeah.
specific. There is a scene with a food truck, the Yeasty Boys bagel truck, which I used to love going to, and they've blown up now. There's like 6 trucks all around. When I went when I went to the Yeasty Boys
What were
bagel
they?
truck,
Was it a tiny little cart? Now it's a bunch of trucks.
it was only 1 truck, but I had a fun story of seeing the author Malcolm Gladwell there
Wow.
getting a bagel. I didn't approach him, but somebody else did.
He's very striking. I'm sure he's easily recognizable. And how come I've never had a bagel from the Yeasty Boys truck? I think this is something I need to put on my list.
I don't know. Put it on your
I'm
list.
gonna put it on my list. I want one. I also appreciated there's a whole scene that takes place at a Jewish camp, and it just reminded me of my camp days when I was a girl, and I loved it. I mean, I always had a little bit of trepidation separating or getting there, but once I was there, I have such fond memories. I went to a YMCA camp, I went to church camp, I went to a Girl Scout camp. Every summer I was at one of these camps and having all of those experiences. Now, my camps didn't seem as fun as theirs. And also there were a lot of adults at their camps, which I
Yeah,
don't
that's
remember.
true.
I guess their camps were more like family camps, which we
Yeah,
did some of that too, right? We did do family camp, but I did that as an adult. I didn't do it as a child, but still brought back memories.
yeah. I really like the emotionally intelligent relationships in the
Hmm.
show. So, I mean, the primary relationship is between Noah and Joanne. It's like a will they, won't they kind of opposites attract. There's a lot of like, can they be together? And kind of what we discussed with the conversation about romance novels. And like,
Hmm.
what is compelling is to see people actually work through their issues and not just pretend not to hear each other or see each other, which is often where the conflict comes from in
Hmm.
some movies and TV shows. But I feel like this show did a really great job of actually making these characters feel like real people who are kind of really trying to figure something out and would like have their misunderstandings, but then they would actually talk through them and come out on the other side.
Yeah, it's interesting. In this show, they establish that they are into each other immediately. And with other shows, it kind of takes a while. Might be like the third episode where they establish that they like each other, but it happens pretty quickly. And then all of the beats are about talking about the relationship in
Yeah,
the show. And I know that is your bag. You like to see the gritty
I
work.
do.
Yeah,
I like to see the work.
you like to see the work. I know. We keep coming back to that. I find it interesting. It's not necessarily the thing that draws me in, but it does feel real in that way.
Yeah.
And of course, I like that it's a romantic comedy. Again, that's just the theme of this season that we're in. It's all about the romance. This is just like great example of a romantic comedy, and I can watch those all day long.
All right. Well, let's take a break. And when we come back, we will get more into the details. Azizi, how's your dinner game these days?
Well, Malika, I used to struggle with what to cook for dinner.
You're cooking now?
Okay. Actually, my husband used to struggle with what to make for dinner. I mean, meal planning, grocery lists, yuck. But then we found Prep Dish. It's a weekly meal planning service that tells you exactly what to cook. And now they've partnered with Instacart, so your grocery list becomes a ready-to-go online cart.
Ooh, what's in your cart, Azizi?
All of the Prep Dish ingredients, plus I can add energy drinks, chili crisp, lipstick, whatever, and check out in just a few clicks. Shopping online is so fun. The meals are family-friendly, healthy, and super easy to prep. Dinner is easy to make, and now we look forward to new tasty meals.
Prep Dish is offering our listeners 2 weeks free. Just head to prepdish.com/happierladies to sign up. Again, that's prepdish.com/happierladies.
I'm always looking for ways to show my cat how much I love her. And with Fancy Feast gems, I can pamper her whenever I want with a savory gravy on top of a gourmet mousse pâté. The pyramid shape makes serving simple, so all I have to do is peel and plate to make mealtime feel extra fancy. And with 2 entrees in every pack, it's easy to turn every day into the extraordinary. Fancy Feast gems.
All right, we are back with more Festival of Nobody Wants This. And I want us to go through in chronological order some of our favorite scenes in the show.
Okay.
My favorite scene is in the second episode, which is called A Shiksa Walks Into a Temple. It's towards the end. So Noah and Joanne are having dinner, but they decided to just be friends because they're so different. He's coming out of a relationship. It's not going to work. She's trying to make better choices. And so this is after dinner where they clearly are into each other. They're eating ice cream, walking down the street. They're like in Los Feliz, right outside of Skylight Books. And their non-date is like ending. It's over. Her Uber's almost there. He's got to go. And she's like, we never kissed. He's like, yeah, because we're just friends and friends don't kiss. And she kind of says, well, what if we just had one kiss, like just to say goodbye? And then they have this kiss and it's just like the fireworks, the music swells. Like, this is the moment that sold me on the show. Because I got to say, after the first episode, I was kind of like, it's cute, but I don't know. And then with this moment, I was like
Wow.
cheering, like, yes, I'm going to keep watching. So they have this kiss. And then there's like a moment, a break where they're like, it's inevitable. Like, oh my gosh, we probably should be together, but our lives and I don't know. This is subtext that I'm saying. It shouldn't happen.
You're reading a lot into that, but that's okay. That's okay. Yes.
Anyway, it's a cool, like, very dramatic moment. And then, of course, life comes in right away. Her Uber's there. He's getting a phone call. And then they have like one more kiss and then they break. And that's like the kickoff, I feel like, to the whole
Well,
season.
Malika, you're like, it's an amazing kiss, right? Like the kiss itself is the amazing part. And they're eating ice cream. And then he says, let me hold your ice cream. She doesn't know what's going to happen. He puts the ice cream down and then he kisses her like in this amazing way. It's probably like top 5 kisses. I don't know.
Yeah, there should be an
There should
awards
be an
for that.
award. And since we're both watching New Girl, so it's on my mind again. But the first time Jess and Nick
Oh,
kiss,
yeah.
also epic. So it's got
Yes.
that energy. And I think it's like, yes, of course, it's the
Yes.
cinematography, it's the music, it's the buildup, but they do a great job there.
Yes.
Yes. A
Yes.
strong ending to that episode. I think it ends there. I don't remember. It
It
does, right? That's
does.
the break.
It ends with
A text from his
him
ex-girlfriend,
getting
right?
yes,
You're right.
exactly.
Okay. Well, okay, so my one of my favorite scenes is at camp, as I said. I loved all the camp vibes in episode 5. And what I loved about it was there's this group of teenagers, a group of teenage girls, and they're totally judging Joanna. And she just falls right into their sort of banter. And it's clear that she cares what they think of her. And they're basically like,
Yeah.
everyone thinks that your boyfriend is hot and he's hard to get, and his ex was here before his last girlfriend was here and, totally just making her feel insecure. And the teen language they use and the way they banter is really funny, I think.
It's funny. There's, like, mean girl energy, and she's, twice their age or 3 times their age, but is, like, gets caught up in it
She's
and
like, "Yeah, oh," and you could tell that she's thinking about it the entire time she's there, and then, of course, there's some things that he does that make her spiral and think even more about what they were warning her about and what they were telling her she was like, and basically, they're like, "You're not all that, it's nothing's gonna happen, and nothing's gonna come out of this," and she's trying to prove them wrong and then, doesn't, but it's a really funny scene. I love that scene.
Well, the episode title is My Friend Joanne, and the whole thing is that he introduces her as his
That's
friend and
right.
not his girlfriend,
Yes.
even though they're definitely together at that point. The girls are totally calling her out that she's been put in the friend zone and that he's not serious about her.
And this is relatable because I guess we didn't describe the whole show, but he is awkward around people at work. Like he hasn't figured out how to mesh his work life and his romantic life together and make it work. And they're kind of at odds. He doesn't quite know how to handle that. And so he panicked and said she was a friend. And of course, she felt insecure about that, which leads me into my next favorite scene. So this is also in episode 5. It's later after he's sort of said she was a friend. She spiraled. She has the teens in her head, those teen girls, and she just leaves. She leaves the camp. She goes to a work meeting with her sister, which was also happening and she wasn't expected to be there because she was at camp. And then he shows up. And so, Malika, I thought you and I can do a dramatic reading of the scene to help them
Okay.
just really get.
Uh,
I love this dialogue. This couplet of dialogue is so great. So let's see if we can do it justice.
we're gonna do a scene?
We're going to do a scene.
Okay.
You're an actor, so we can do this. So scroll down to the bottom of the page. I'll be Joanne and
Okay.
you be Noah. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Ashley told me you'd be here. I'm so sorry. I know you pushed off work for me, and then I literally hid you from my boss. I totally panicked. I know how much that must have hurt, Joanne. I don't want to lose you, and I promise if you give me a little time, I will work that out.
It did hurt, Noah. And also, you called me your friend in front of the teens, whose opinion I care about the most.
That was so sus.
But maybe most importantly, you made me miss my first Shabbat.
Your first Shabbat?
Yes, Noah, it's Friday. That's when Shabbat happens. I learned about it at candle making.
I can fix this. Hold on.
And scene.
Oh.
It's so great because she's clearly got the teens in her head and she's like, you hurt me in front of them. And I care about their opinion. And of course, she's being silly, a little bit, but I don't know, it felt so good.
I'm glad you didn't tell me about this scene ahead of time because I don't think I would have done it.
Why not? I knew you could do it. And Malika, I literally listened at the episode with the captions on and was like furiously typing,
That's
trying
so
to get
funny.
transcription.
It's a fun moment though. Like it's very sweet. And this is an example of like he recognizes that he was being, a jerk and apologizes. It doesn't
Yes.
fester for like 3 more episodes, you know?
No, he knew he was wrong
Yeah.
and he did something about it. And it was like a grand gesture, but in a very sweet way. Like he listened to her
Yes.
because she told him what the problem was. And then he tried to fix it. And it was very sweet. Okay, I think I have the next one also.
Okay.
All of my favorite episodes are close together. So my next favorite moment is in episode 7, and it's titled Wags, which is wives of,
No.
what does Wags mean? Wives and girlfriends?
Yes.
Wags? What? What is a
I
wag?
think it's like a British thing or European. Wives and girlfriends of athletes
But the of
is
athletes
what
part does
that
not.
means.
Wives and girlfriends of athletes. Okay. So
Yeah.
that's the title. So in this episode, Noah's in the matzo ballers. He's in this adult league and he has made it to the playoffs. And it's funny because they're not very good, but they care. They have a lot of passion. He's there with his friends and
It's
it's
basketball. I don't think
basketball.
you said
It's
that.
basketball. So they're in a gym setting. It's like a high school gym. They're playing their hearts out. And meanwhile, the wives and girlfriends of the players are all congregating in the gym watching the game, and Joanne is desperately trying to get in with them and get on their side, and she wants to be accepted by them, and it's not going well. She's done research, but there's one in particular who's really difficult and making it hard for her. And so she calls her sister, who comes in with booze, and then they create this drinking game. And the drinking game is basically anytime the guys miss a basket, they take a shot. And so progressively as the game goes on, you see them get so excited every time they miss. You're so confused. So good. The very last shot, like it's the last second of the game. They're like 2 points away. Noah goes for the shot, and it's all dramatic slow motion, and he misses it. And from the stands, all the wives and girlfriends are like, "Yeah!" Like so excited. And he's like, "Wait, did I make it?" Ah, that was so funny.
That's a fun episode
So
all
fun.
around.
So fun. Yeah.
A lot of good moments there, and yeah.
What about you? What's your next favorite episode?
So in episode 9, titled My Girl Bina, Joanne goes to Noah's parents' house
Mm,
for brunch to meet his parents. And from the beginning, it's like she says the wrong things. They're a Jewish family that keeps kosher, and she brings a charcuterie plate with prosciutto on it, thinking prosciutto is beef. And like, prosciutto is not beef, it's pork. And the mother is just like so offended, like, well, we have to throw this in the garbage. And there's just like all these missteps. She just can't get a break. And then there's a moment at the brunch where the tables turn and Joanne and the mother get into this kind of heated argument in front of everybody about what she does, that she's a podcaster professionally and what she's talking about on her podcast. And they get into this fight and Noah defends her. And then the mother kind of gets up and storms out to the kitchen. And Joanne decides she's going to go and try to make nice. And she goes in and she sees the mom eating the prosciutto from the trash can, from the charcuterie plate, and she
mm,
just catches her red hand, and the mom's like, it's just like this great
embarrassed.
power dynamic. The status totally changes,
Mhm.
and it's not clear if Joanne's going to tell everybody. But she basically goes out and she covers for the mom. So then it becomes this like secret that she's going to keep probably like to the grave,
Mhm.
and the mom knows that. And so you can see the mom kind of respects that too. Like she plays the same kind of game. It's like, okay, I see who this person is, and actually kind of endears her towards Joanne, even though she still doesn't want her to date her
And
son.
it's like she opens up a little bit, and you think like, "Wow,
Yeah.
she's kind of won the mom over," until the very last scene when she's like, "You're never gonna date my son." Like,
Yeah.
then she crushes all of those hopes, the mom. But it was kind of an amazing moment. I agree with these 2 powerful women kind of vying for their son.
And nobody else knows what happened with the charcuterie. Like, it's really their secret. So everyone's like, oh my gosh, why does the mom like her now? What's going
Right.
on? But they just go along with it. It's
What
funny.
else?
All right. So the final scene of the final episode, this is the Bat Mitzvah Crashers. I think that's the name of the episode. Anyway, there's this really great montage. So this is like the end. Joanne was going to convert. She decides she can't do that. It's not who she is. So it seems like they're not going to be together. This song plays by Celeste, Strange. It's this very like sultry, jazzy song about friends becoming lovers and then just being friends again. And Joanne and Noah had just had this kind of fallout, or very civil, but like the recognition that Joanne just can't do this and like she's not going to be able to fit into his world. And she kind of leaves and is like, don't follow me. And so she leaves, she gets on the shuttle, and you just see her face. She's just thinking, like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Wow, is it really over? And then the shuttle stops, and she's like, thinking somebody's getting on, and you see her eyes light up. She thinks it's gonna be Noah, and it's like
Because of
this.
course she wants him to follow her,
She
right?
wants him to follow her.
Of course
And
she does.
so
They always do.
the shuttle stops, and it's like a kid that gets on this like kind of funny. kid who was at the bat mitzvah, like a child gets on. And so she's like slumps, like, and then it's like kind of, oh, what was I thinking? And the shuttle continues and it gets to the parking lot. Her hopes are dashed. She gets out, and then you see that Noah is there in front of a car. Like he ran from the place to wherever the parking lot is. Like he did follow
Oh,
her.
yeah.
And then they have this like big kiss again. It's the same music as in the first kiss, which is fun.
Is it the
And
same?
it is. It's the same
Oh,
song.
oh, wow. I didn't catch that.
Yeah. That's
Such a
something
good
if
song. Such a good
yeah, it's
song.
a good song.
I heard it and I looked it up and I started listening to the album. It's Francis and the Lights, and I'm a kid of the 80s and it has some of those vibes like Phil Collins,
Yeah.
yeah, some
Synthesizer.
synthesizer, computer kind of, but it just feels like yearning, you know? And
Yeah.
when I listened to the album, I recognized another song which was May I Have This Dance, and that's a pivotal part of Always Be My Maybe, which is,
Oh, yes.
my other favorite
Also a
rom-com.
Netflix show.
So when I heard this, I was like, "Oh my gosh, it sounds just like this other song." It is. They use the songs in similar ways to move the story along, but it's a great album. I highly recommend that you listen to it. Good music.
Good music.
Yeah.
Yes. This season ends on that moment where they kind of kiss and basically seem like somehow they're going to figure it out. We're left on this. It's not a total cliffhanger because it's obviously they're together, but how will it work? We don't know.
Right.
So this is what leads into the next
Leads
season,
into
which
the
is
next season,
coming.
and it's been a long wait. Has it been a year? I guess it's been like a year.
Yeah. There was a trailer, Azizi. Did you see it?
I didn't see the trailer. There's a trailer? Oh my
There's a
gosh.
trailer,
It must have just come out. Okay, I'm gonna watch the trailer.
and then we'll discuss that
Did
later
you watch it?
offline. I did. I
Oh,
did.
okay. Well, all right. Don't give anything away yet, but the next season's coming. What are you hoping for in this next season?
Well, I just have to say I'm managing my expectations because clearly I liked season 1 so much. I
Hmm.
kind of know it's gonna be hard for season 2 to pass that
Yeah. Yeah.
because the story was fresh, it drew you in, and now we're already in it, and I know just by that fact it might not feel the same.
Hmm.
And so I wanna just know that ahead of time so I am not disappointed. Because I do just wanna be in the world
Right.
together.
Yes, absolutely. I want to be in that world. I want to see them together and I want to see her and his world more. I
Yeah.
want to see her really trying. And I think we saw a little bit of that at camp, which was why one of the things that I loved about that episode so much is that she was learning and really trying to process and taking seriously all of these customs and practices. And so I want to see more of that. And I want to see their podcast succeed. I want them to get the multi-million-dollar deal. And how will that change things? I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I also wanna see some more development with Noah's brother, Sasha. There
Mm.
was a thing, like, between Sasha and Morgan, so
Ugh,
Noah's brother
so
and
cringy.
Joanne's sister, and I don't even know what's possible there, like,
Yeah.
what's sustainable for a show, but I just want there to be some kind of resolution, and it seems like with the 2nd season, there might be more time to focus on these side characters a little bit
Well, at
more.
the bat mitzvah, you saw Sasha's wife and Noah's mom. Sasha's wife was like, "We got to get them," right? Do you
Yeah,
remember
they're,
that?
like, plotting against them,
It's definitely
yes.
going to happen. There's going to be some fireworks there.
I think I also wanna see, between Joanne and Noah, like, more romance on both
Hmm.
sides, like, grand gestures, because I don't want it to be a given that they're just a couple now, like,
Mm-hmm.
I wanna see them working for the relationship.
Of
You know I
course you
like the
do.
work.
You like the work. You like to want to see the work. Nothing
And
easy.
more depth from Joanne, like, thinking about their, like, long-term vision,
Mm,
because it seemed like that's one of her character, I guess, flaws or, like, character traits is just being in the present, and she's not thinking things through often, and Noah has this kind of opposite value for, like, legacy and generations, and that's a part
yeah.
of his faith, and just wanna see her more thinking coming to terms with, like, her bigger picture.
It seems like, I mean, they play it off as though she's never had the opportunity to do this. Like,
Right.
all of her relationships have been short-lived and flings, and this is the first time she's having to, think about this.
Yeah. What about you? What are you looking for?
I wanna see Joanne engage with more kids because she's so great with kids. She's also good with what's the brother's name? Sasha's daughter?
Miriam.
What's her name? Miriam. They were so great together. They had such good chemistry. Her character's great with kids, and so I wanna see more banter there. And I also wanna see the process of becoming a
Hmm.
rabbi. We've seen some of the steps and, there was different moments where he needed to get the good opinion of someone or he was worried about, this step in the process. And so even though the rabbi who he's taking over for made it seem like, oh, you definitely got it, I'm wondering if there's going to be more of the
Hmm.
process that we get to see that side.
To become head rabbi.
Yeah. What does that mean? I'm interested.
I mean, overall, this show, it's escapism. I mean, we know this. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of television is, but I feel like the world is so small in a really soothing way. It's just family and relationships, a handful of locations, like a very
Like
it's
5
very
locations. And
simple.
the thing is, everybody's safe, everyone's comfortable, no one's really in danger. It's my kind of
It
show, like,
really is. Yeah.
not very much happens. Each episode, something very small happens. Oh, I love it. I love it so
I
much.
enjoyed it, and I mean, as I said, I watched it and was so taken in, and then I just had it on repeat for, like, weeks, just, like, when I went to bed, because it's just kind of fun and light, and, I really appreciate that in the times we're in. It's nice to have something like that.
Yeah. I think I liked also just the work-life
Mm,
challenges, like, just really grappling with how to make work and a relationship and how to be ambitious with
yeah,
all of it, and the tension that comes from that is something that I like to see.
and just such fun flirting and dialogue.
Yeah, and family.
Yeah.
Family gatherings, family celebrations, family milestones and traditions, and then also the kiss.
The kiss, the
That was
kiss.
really
That was
that
great.
was epic.
All right. Well, if you watch Nobody Wants This and you liked it, we would love to hear from you what your favorite moments are.
We don't wanna hear if you didn't like it.
Don't tell, yeah, just we know,
Only if you liked it,
yeah,
then you could reach out.
exactly. All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, we'll share our peaks and valleys.
Finish training for the day? Time to fight post-workout fatigue with Core Power Protein Shakes. They're packed with 26 grams of high-quality protein to build muscle and electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to help your body replenish, rebuild, and repair post-workout so you can power on to the next one. Champion your recovery with Core Power. Visit corepower.com to learn more.
And we are back with peaks and valleys because in life, there are always peaks and always valleys. Azizi, this is an even episode, so you're up first with a peak.
My peak is that my girls were here for the weekend. Ilea and Sinai came from their colleges for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They left on Sunday, and it was just so perfect. First of all, everyone got new mattresses, so
Okay.
that was a thing that just I had to take care of. I just need to say that out loud because the logistical feat of getting rid of a mattress and getting a new one and setting them all up in time for them to get here was not easy. So I'm patting myself on the
Good
back
job.
for taking care of that task and planning a dinner with the family and with some friends while they were here. And then basically it was just a lot of LA food. We had tacos, we went to In-N-Out, we had Thai food at Daisy Mint, Grayson made mac and cheese. It was just all about food. Each day was a different kind of food day. And it was just nice to see them and be with them. I'm not going to see them again until Thanksgiving. We don't always get this mid-fall break, and I'm grateful for it, especially for Sinai because it's her first year away.
Yay. That sounds so sweet. Did it feel different being as a family now?
No, it felt like we just fall right back in, you know? I don't know if I've shared it here, but Ilea has a boyfriend who is lovely, and he is now a part of the
Great.
family. So when Ilea is home, so is her boyfriend, and such a nice guy. So we've grown a little bit, around our table, but nothing felt awkward or weird about it. And tonight was just full of stories and, how things are going. And yeah, it's nice.
Um, oh, that's lovely.
What's your valley?
So my valley was that Indigo had a day off of school, and
Is that it? That's all you
that's
have to
it.
say, right?
Honestly,
I
that
think
could be the
every parent of a young child will be like, "Oh, yes, I had one of those today."
So Granny was still here, which was great. We kind of made sure that she would be here for that day. But I planned like, oh, we're going to go to the museum. Like that was going to be our big outing. He had a
Hmm.
doctor's appointment in the morning and a dentist appointment later that day,
Oh, that's
which was
ambitious.
ambitious. And it just kind of ended up working out that way. So it's like, okay, let's do this fun thing in the middle of the day. So we're going to go to this museum that's a little further afield. And it's just an effort to leave the house that many times?
Yeah.
So
I thought your max was 2
it
things.
is,
We've talked
Azizi.
about
It
this
is.
famously. You can only do 2
And
things in a day.
honestly, now with 2 kids, I'm wanna scale it back to 1 thing, but we finally get out of the house again to head to the museum. We stop for lunch. It's a whole thing. We finally get to the museum, and the museum is closed.
Oh,
And it wasn't like a random closure, like, it's just not open on
okay.
Wednesdays, and I
Not like an
forgot.
East Hampton closed.
No
We
handwritten
don't have enough
sign.
staff. We'll be back in 2
Yeah,
hours. None of
it was
that.
just like,
Oh.
"This museum is closed on Wednesdays," and I just totally forgot.
Ugh,
And,
that's hard.
like, we had done so much, and Indigo was being really good and keeping it together and no nap, and, like,
Yeah.
he handled it very well, like, he didn't break down. We just turned around, and we found a playground to go to somewhere around,
Okay, you
so
pivoted.
but I just felt like this could have been avoided, you know? Like, I could have
Hmm.
just I
Mhm.
just need to double check because things have weird hours.
Yeah, especially museums.
Yeah. So, and then we still had to go to the dentist, but
I think it's good for kids to not have things work out
yeah,
sometimes because they have to cope, build
his
those coping
life.
skills and muscles. So, and the fact that he was able to, he probably had just as much fun at the playground, honestly.
Yeah, from his purview, like,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah. So it was okay, but I just felt like I need to check next time.
Right. That was a lot of effort that you didn't have to make.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to the end. Azizi, let's leave on a happier thought. What are you going to try this week?
I can't believe we got through this episode. Like, there's been so much build up about it. I just have to say that first. And I'm gonna watch the trailer. Yeah, well, that's what I'm gonna do is gear up for season 2. What about you, Malika?
Yeah, I feel like I want to organize like a watch party or something, or just like a text
Oh,
thread to
that's
live
fun.
find a couple people who are interested in the show. Like watch it
Hey, you know what?
together.
If they release them all at once, save the last one and maybe we'll watch it when we're
Oh,
together.
that's
Can you do
torture.
that?
I don't know.
It's not torture. We need to do that for the British baking show
I
also.
know.
Okay, I don't know if you're watching, but don't watch the last episode and then we can watch it together.
Okay.
Just let's try
We'll try. All right.
it.
Well, thank you for listening to this episode. You can find our show notes in the episode description. If you like us, please rate, review, and tell a friend, and don't forget to follow us.
Send us a message at happierladies@gmail.com.
Our show was edited by Magnus Bjorgum, and our theme music was created by Wyatt Muncie.
You can find us on Instagram at happierladies and on the web at happierladies.com. All right, Malika, have a happier week.
Have a happier week, Azizi. Bye.
Bye. I'm Azizi Williams. I live and work in the LA area. I'm a mom of 2, soon to be an empty. No, why did that happen? That's not our intro. We did this
Oh,
episode before
man.
we changed.
Wait a minute.
This podcast is part of the Sound Advice FM network. Sound Advice FM, women's voices amplified.